Was on for you in the fight with Kid Chocolate, and also more, was it a flash knockdown, and what kind of power would you rank it at from a scale of 1 to 10?
No, definitely was a flash knockdown. I mean, I'm not going to discredit the guy. Like, he didn't deserve it, and definitely got to try. He dropped me. Whether I was squared up or if it's my fault that I'm squared up, he capitalized off it, so I can't discredit him. He dropped me, and all credit to him. But like I said before, I knew when I got a guy hurt how to finish him. I knew that either it was going to be that round or the next round that we was going to get him out of there, and I wanted to be the first to ever stop Sergio Mora, and I think we accomplished that today.
Danny, did you land on his leg at the end of the fight? Some people might call the ending controversial. How you doing?
What's up, buddy? No, I don't remember landing on his foot. I just remember him maybe going down on an angle because he spreads his legs wide. That's his stance. So when he went down, he probably, I got to go back to the tape, but when he spread his legs, he probably went down on his ankle. I'm not really sure what exactly happened, but
at that point in time, it was the perfect opportunity for Sergio Mora to escape the fight, and he took full advantage of it. The knockout was due, it was in process, and it was going to take place. I think Sergio knew that this would be the best way for him to avoid the punishment and the pain, and he took full advantage of it.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Then if you can't get Kid Chocolate next, who else would you look to get at? And if you can, would you like to take him out here in the Barclay?
Of course, there's no other better place than to fight at the Barclay. We're both our biggest fan base is in Brooklyn, you know, and this is a fight that, you know, like a lot of people contact me on social media, and no other fight do I hear about most is Kid Chocolate at the Barclays Center. So I feel like a lot of people want that fight. This is something that the fans want, and I feel like they deserve. So friendship or not, whatever type of relationship we have, you know, ultimately it's business, it's a sport. But if I can't get him, I'm looking forward to stepping up to whoever at that level. I'm tired of fighting these guys. Like, I won't discredit my past opponents, but you know, a lot of people want to see me step up, and so am I. I'm a young champion, and I want to fight the best.
So outside Kid Chocolate, who would be the next person?
I can't tell. That's not really my job. You know, that's a guy who I have my eye on. If I can't get him, then I'll leave my team to decide that.
You think he's a fight he's been avoiding? I mean, you've been calling him out for a minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's avoiding it. I just don't think it's maybe in his plans at this particular point. A lot of people like to take advantage of being a champion and kind of like, I won't say milk it, but stretch it and get it as much as they can in before they go to the bigger and better opposition. But, you know, I've had 2 fights already as a champion. I'm ready to step up.
Not only that, he's not a champion.
He's not champion.
Yeah, so, you know, and that's a good thing about me. So now I'm on the A side. You know, before when I was calling him out, he was the champion. We didn't really get any good response. So now that I'm the champion, you know, all the playing thing is on my field now. So looking forward to see how that goes, and hopefully we can get it done before the year's out.
You guys are good friends. What does he say when you ask him face to face, do you want to fight me? What does he tell you?
I never asked him, do you want to fight me face to face? We kind of really don't really talk about it. It's kind of one of those things that is just, you know, it happened, it come with the territory, but our friendship is something different. I just seen him, you know, maybe a week and a half ago. We went to the Southport movie premiere, sat right next to each other, had a good time, enjoyed the movie, and that was that. But, you know, this is a sport where you can't make friends because eventually, well, make friends rather in the same division, because eventually you might fight them. What about Andy Lee? Andy Lee has a fight coming up. I'll really take anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm at that point right now where I'm hungry, and I trust my team in the way they've been moving me, the way they've been letting me progress gradually, especially since my return. You know, obviously we don't want to fight all the killers my first time around. So we got enough fights in to step up and fight bigger and better opposition. But then again, you guys see boxing is one of those things where there's so many politics, like there's so much going on. There's so much that I can't control that the fans don't understand. I can't control Oscar not wanting to work with PBC or Top Rank not wanting to work with these guys. So when you see a Triple G and you're saying, well, Danny's the WBA regular champion and Triple G's a super, why don't you fight? Like, I can't control that because of the politics. Like, if I had an opportunity to fight Triple G, I'm all for it, you know? But in the meantime, we just rack up who we can.
Daniel, Chris Connor here, Cyber Station Radio in Boston. Do you think this is a step back in terms of a fight? I mean, you got knocked down, unfortunately, by Sergio Mora. You did knock him out, but do you feel that fans are going to get on you because you they get knocked down by a guy who's considered a soft puncher?
I'm definitely going to feel it from the fans on that one. I mean, that's without a doubt. But then again, this is something that comes with the territory. It's something that I'm used to. I've got a lot of criticism over my career. A lot of criticism from the boxing world, and it's something, like I said, that comes with the territory. Who am I to? Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, all the greats have gotten criticism and been considered bums and been considered this and that. I'm no better than those guys to say that, I'm above that. So I take it, it comes with the territory, and I just do what I've been doing, and that's winning. T-shirt, you ain't got nothing for me, T?
Yeah, I
Come
mean, I
on,
was
brother.
talking to Sergio earlier this week, and we were talking about, he said he was actually gonna go for the knockout. I mean, were you surprised when he knocked you down, or wasn't the flash knockdown, like, how did you feel getting back up?
Well, I got flash knocked down for the first time against Martin Murray when we fought as an amateur in London. And it kind of just replayed in my mind again because when I got dropped, I was like, oh my goodness, like this guy just really dropped me. Like I'm real prideful when it comes to that stuff. So when Martin dropped me, I just ran right after him and I started throwing tons of punches and I beat Martin Murray twice for the record. And it was the same thing with Moore. I was just like, this guy caught me and I was off guard, but it's a lesson learned. I'm glad I got the victory, but I knew I wanted to come in there and prove something. That he couldn't go the distance with me. I'm a true middleweight, and he's coming up and he's saying he's gonna knock me out, and the guy has like 9 knockdowns. Now granted, he got a drop. That's enough that I give him. I won't give him too much. And he got that, but we came back strong and we did what we had to do to finish the fight. Yeah.
Hey Danny, do you see yourself as a different fighter now that you went through some trials and tribulations, pay-rock and all that other stuff that went down, and now you're getting like what, six straight?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Go listen now. I think I'm become a man now. Discipline is something that, as a kid, a young adult, it's kind of hard to grasp and take it serious when everything comes easy. When you're talented, and you're so naturally gifted, and things come easy, you're not mature enough to kind of harvest those gifts. And as I got older and all the challenges that I faced in my life just made me realize that nothing is promised. And if you have a special gift that God has given you, you harvest it and make it the best out of it. Because, I want to be considered a Hall of Famer one day. I want to be considered one of the best. You can never be the best. Kind of hard to figure that out. But as long as I'm in the Hall of Fame, as long as I'm doing something that people are proud of, that my fans are proud of, and my family, I'm cool with that. But I want to have a long career and get out of the sport still with my brains so I can commentate.
Then what's plan B? If Peter Quill's plan A, that's the guy you want.
Yeah.
And he decides he's not going to fight you next. What is plan B? You guys, you and your team have a plan, or?
Al Hammond is a very smart guy. He will choose, and my team will come to an agreement of who's the best decision after that. But I can guarantee you it'll be something that the fans will be pleased with. I don't think I'll receive as much criticism as I have for fighting Sergio Mora, opposed to my next opponent. We're going to step up, I want to fight, and I want to get different belts. In order to do that, we got to fight the best.
Is there somebody in mind you have?
Pardon?
Is there somebody in mind you have besides?
In mind?
Yeah.
No. I mean, a lot of people has been saying Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank Jr. would be a really good fight. I've seen him a couple times. He's a great opponent. I think that would be a good matchup. Billy Sanders is fighting Andy Lee, so I'm not sure. I mean, there's tons of guys in the middleweight division. Middleweight division is like the second hottest division in all of boxing, in my opinion. So, I mean, there's tons of guys that I can fight at that top level. It's just all about finding the right guy that makes sense.
There's the guy, Triple G.
Right. Well, my thoughts on Triple G? I mean, he's been doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, you can't criticize a guy who's getting in there and doing what he's supposed to do. You can say anything you want to say about his opposition, but he's been winning. He's been looking impressive doing it. So can't say anything bad about him. Do I wish I could fight him? Absolutely. But I feel like a guy like Triple G, he's like, I look at it like Mortal Kombat, like pole boxing, right? So you got all these guys, right? And he's like Scorpion, right? Like, so I'm trying to get through the rest of these guys gradually, right? And then we can fight Master Splitter, right? So we'll see what happens. But like again, he's with a different promotion, But You know, Al Haymon was a very smart man, and the biggest fight that the fans wanted was Mayweather and Pacquiao. They were able to make that happen. So that just set up open doors for different co-promotional things going down the future. I don't see it being a problem, but you know, once again, it just has to happen. I'm ready to fight anybody, man. Yeah.
So is it true you will be fighting again this year?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna fight before the year's out. We're gonna get right back into the gym. I'm trying to take advantage of the shoots as much as possible. Boxing is a very short sport, and you know, I'm 28 years old. I feel like I'm in my prime. I'm a young champion. 28, man. So, yeah, I just want to fight as much as I can. In the amateurs, I was fighting like all the time. And even when I first turned pro, I mean, I had like 12, 13 fights in my first year. So me being active is something that I'm used to, and I want to try to take advantage of it as much as possible. So, yeah.
So for the record, it isn't that the middleweight class is scared of Triple G.
Yeah.
It's more like a promotional thing.
Well, the PBC guys, I mean, I can't really vouch for anybody else. I'm most certainly not scared of Triple G. I don't think a lot of people are scared, maybe, but I think it's more so dealing with the politics of boxing. Boxing has been a dictatorship as far as the promotional for a very long time, and Al came and broke that in peace. You know, he broke that, and he's allowing fighters to obviously get the best side, opposed to promoters and everything, so on and so forth. You know, it's crazy how a man come and does so much positive things for the sport and receives so much criticism. But you guys like, I won't mention any names, but from other promotion who's done so much harm to all their fighters and hasn't had any good complaints from any of their fighters, and they get praised for it. I mean, I don't want to be dictated by it. I want to be able to be on the A side, and I'm happy I'm with PBC. I'm happy I'm with Al, and I have a bright future. You know, I have a very bright future. So we'll take one more question because my family's waiting outside. Anybody? Michelle? You tweeting?
I'm literally tweeting everything.
All right,
I'm saying
cool.
right now.
All right, this should work. Okay, well, I guess we can conclude this, guys.
Sergio Mora's his Mortal Kombat parallel.
He's like, no, man, he's like the beginning stage.
Please raise your hand for the mic.
Over here, Danny. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of people thought going into this fight that this was what was going to happen, that you were going to be too big, even at the new weight, too strong, too quick, too young, too fresh, all that stuff, and that you would roll right through him. Now that you've done that, was there anything that happened in those 9 rounds that gave you pause whatsoever from him in his arsenal at all? That made you think?
No, I knew Malignaggi was going to go in there and box and try to, I figured he was going to clinch me a lot. Use his jab, you know, try to offset my rhythm. I'm pretty sure he watched tapes from my older fights with guys that had a little bit of success. So I knew that was kind of his style. But we prepared perfect for this. We prepared not to get desperate and just, you know, just stay calm, land the body shots and just break them down.
One other question for you, Paulie, or Danny. Did you think at any point that Paulie in that fight could have been stopped earlier? Because you were laying a beating on him 6, 7, 8, and maybe the ref could have stepped in a little bit earlier.
It really didn't seem like that, to be honest with you. When I was in there with him, it felt like he was still moving. I felt a little pop in his jab still. He was still getting off some strong punches, so I didn't feel like he was breaking down until I stepped it up in that last round.
Hey, congrats, Danny.
Thank you.
That's great. You know, Sean Porter was over here before and said he's very annoyed that you said that he's terrible mate for you, and he said if he fights you, he'll knock you out. So, what do you say to that?
Now, I mean, we got the same manager, but I didn't mean no like harm to him. I just said I got the better style to beat him. That's it. I mean, if he wants to feel butthurt, that's his problem.
Danny, right here. Secondly,
I didn't say nothing bad about him.
Secondly, you know, your nose seems kind of swollen. Is it? Is it injured?
No, he hit me with a headbutt. Yeah, okay. 2 of them actually, right here.
Yeah. Is it broken or anything?
No, I didn't broken. I could breathe.
Danny, early in the fight, it seemed that you were hitting him with a lot of right hands, but then in the middle rounds, did you feel like it was your left that you took control with the body shots, the uppercuts, and even the jab?
Yeah, I felt like he was starting to feel that right hand, so he started to get under me. So I try to come underneath with body shots and just try to back him up with the jab. And I just had to stay calm and follow the game plan and just don't get desperate. And that's exactly what we did tonight.
Danny, you had said before the fight that, trying to make 140 for the last 2 years, really drained you. You didn't have the snap on the punches. These extra 7 pounds or almost 7 pounds, how much does that help going forward, to getting back to where you were?
Man, I feel great. This is the first training camp where, we went hard. We just went hard for 8 weeks straight. I never felt weak. We put the road work in, we put the conditioning in. We were able to think, cut the ring, use the jab, and the game plan we executed perfect tonight. We did everything we worked on. Chasing the chickens, everything just came to life today.
Danny, what's up, man? Andy Emilio, ES News. When you gave Paulie his moral victory lap, did you kind of already know that you had effectively ended his career and pretty much made him retire? Did you know that was that, or was that just you being a class act and showing love?
Boxing, at the end of the day, it's about, we hate each other, but it's about feeding each other's family. And, Paulie's faced a lot of great champions, and when he hugged me, he said, "I'm done." So I just walked him around the ring. Boxing, we do hate each other, we do beat each other down, but at the end of the day, it's about sportsmanship, and that's what it's all about.
We're going to take a few more questions. Right here, story time.
Hey Danny, coming from a fighter-to-fighter aspect, Robert James from Boom Fitness Center, I just want to know, when you now bumped up to that higher weight class, a lot of people don't take into account, they're like, oh, you won't have to cut as much, taken away from you, but what about what you gained? Is your legs stronger? Are you feeling like more upper body? I mean, what is it that, I know obviously you're throwing those big dynamite shots, but is it more your legs that you feel yourself get a move to get to the angles better, or is it just the raw power up top?
It's just, my body grew out of 140. My body grew out of 140, so I believe that any weight above 140 would have helped me. But we just didn't gain the weight and look fat and have, my body didn't look good. We trained hard. We did a lot of conditioning to make sure that I was 147 pounds solid and I'll be able to use my speed and my power and cut the ring off and move my head.
2 more questions.
Congrats on the win, Smith.
Thank you.
How does it feel to have a clear, concise victory after, the Peterson, the Herrera? How does it feel, you won, it's a wrap, it's all debate?
Oh, it feels great. Like, when Danny Garcia, don't get me wrong, they were tough fights, but I feel like I still won the fights. But when Danny Garcia is 100% physically and mentally, nobody can beat him. I beat them guys with like 65% in my tank. Making the weight. So at the end of the day, it's just, I feel great.
Yeah, about Gerardo and Peterson, we won, and let's talk about Matisse. Let's talk about Khan. The good part, not the little fight here looks a little jab, piggyback jab, and Danny Garcia got hit with a big, did you see Peterson's big right hand? And Danny whooping his ass. Come on, man, you won them fights, man. You guys are feeding off of this here, right? This guy's riding with the fame because you guys are making him famous. That guy's not even he's an opponent, because Danny would have knocked him out. They would have said Danny fought a bum. Peterson, come on, man, we know about him. Come on, guys. Come on. You know what he does. Let's leave it at that. He's still beating. 20 pounds overweight. And he ran like a chicken. That's why we did the chicken coop down. We got chicken in my house.
Final.
We got 3 chicken pets now.
Yeah, thanks to Peterson. We own chickens.
One's Herrera, one's Peterson, and one's Vicks, I think. And then, who named one Vicks? You named the Vicks? Who named the Vicks?
All right, final question down here.
Hey Danny, congratulations, and Angel. Also congratulations on coming to your birth.
Thank you. I thank God the baby didn't come today.
All right.
I would have walked out the ring and said, "No,
So with that being said, and possibly the Sean Porter, if you're not able to get Sean Porter, who would you like to have?
There's a lot of.
As well as Angel, who you think?
There's a lot of great matchups in that division. It's all about letting it unfold. And if that's what Al Heyman wants, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, we can do it.
What happens is this, let nature take its course. We don't choose destiny, we let destiny get chosen for us. So Al Heyman does that job. He picks him, I train him, then he fights him. That's how we do it. We a three-way snake. You know what I mean? Listen. You got Al Heyman the brain, and the other guys out there hating on Al, they pinky. You know pinky in the brain? They're pinky in the brain.
Al Heyman's the brain. They the pinky. You know what I mean? Hey, pinky, you gonna get hurt? No, brain. Try to take over the world.
We're taking over boxing. Oh no, we're suing you. Oh no, you're making the fighters rich. Oh, what happened to the guy that does the announcement or the other guys on the sideline? They don't get paid no more? It's not about them no more, it's about boxing, the stars. The fighter, God bless America. I love you, America.
Thank you.
Team Garcia. He's a great fighter. Before the great fight, I'm gonna put my analyst hat on too. I think this is the kind of fight that makes Danny better. I was what's up, Freddie? It's a kind of fight that I think Danny's gonna get better from. I guess I went from being a championship level fighter one time in my career to maybe just being the pesky guy that it's hard to look good against. You know, I feel like I can still compete, but you know, it's just this level of fighter. Maybe I'm just, you know, I come up short against. You know, so it's a tough decision to just keep going. You know, in my boxing career. I think, like as I was saying, I think this is the kind of fight that's going to make Danny better. I could see that I was having an annoying style, but Danny made little adjustments in there, and I'll tell you what he did. It was early on in the fight, you know, I was trying to win the jab war, and it was, you know, going back and forth. I felt like, you know, Danny had a slight advantage in the rounds, but I felt like I was in there, you know? I felt like I just couldn't get complete control of the fight. I felt like in moments I was grasping it, but then he'd take it back, you know, and that's a testament to his character and a testament to the championship level that he's on. There was a moment middle of the fight, I don't know what rounds, maybe 5 and 6 or around there, where I started realizing I had him missing and I didn't have to step back anymore. You know, like I remember telling myself, wow, I'm seeing everything right from where I'm standing, you know? Because early on, you know, he's a heavy puncher and I have to get his timing, so a lot of the things he threw, I would give ground. And I started realizing, like, around 5 or 6, I don't remember exactly, I just have to see the tape, but I started, like, making a miss right from where I was standing, you know, and sometimes we'd smother, end up chest to chest, and end up in a clinch, but I started thinking to myself, man, if I can keep doing this, I'm not gonna waste any energy, you know, and I don't have to give ground. You know, maybe I can start backing him up off my jab, you know, and that's what I was trying to do, and then Danny made a really good adjustment. He started jabbing at my shoulder and at my chest, but really well, and he did 2 things with that. For one, he disrupted my timing. Number 2, actually did a few things, maybe more than 2 things. One, he disrupted my timing. Number 2, made my jab shoulder really sore, so it made it harder to jab at him. And then number 3, I was trying to make him pay for jabbing with me, because you know they say you don't hook with a hooker, you jab with a jabber. So I said, you know what? If he's gonna jab with the jabber, I want to make him pay by coming over the top with counter right hands, you know? And I kind of expected him to try to jab with me at times in the fight, so we worked on some counter right hands in camp over the top of the jab, but what his hard jabs to the chest and shoulder did was it would rock back my momentum, because on a counter right hand, you're pulling your body weight back, and then you're pulling it over the top of the jab. When I would pull back my body weight to try to counter over his jab was real heavy right here. So I couldn't bring back the momentum, because you basically change your momentum twice. You're going back and forward, you're rocking. So I would try to rock back, but his jab would hit me right here, and it was like, you know, I couldn't bring my momentum back forward over the top of the jab. So it was a really good adjustment. And what it did was it kept backing me up, and it gave him the command of the pace, the control of the fight again. Again, I mean, in spots, I felt like I still could grasp control, but just not enough to control the fight. And then he got me with a good shot. It was probably the last round. It was probably right before they stopped it, maybe 20, 30 seconds before. An overhand right hit me in my ear, and it kind of messed up my eardrum a little bit. And from there, you know, it was, you know, he kind of built up to the stoppage. At first I was mad about the stoppage, but then in hindsight, you know, it was fine. You know, I'm not the 25-year-old kid that fought Cotto anymore, you know. That fight, no matter what the ref would have done, if he would have stopped that, I would have been pissed off. I would have always been pissed off. But at 34 years old, maybe I don't bite my teeth as much anymore. In the moment I do. I mean, again, in the moment I was mad, but when I think about it afterwards, you know, Arthur McCanty made a good stoppage. You know, props to the commission, to the inspectors in the corner, the doctor, and Arthur McCanty for doing a great job refereeing. And Danny Garcia's a good fighter. I think he's going to move on to good things. And like I said, I think it's the kind of fight that makes him better. You know, he was forced to think in there, forced to make some adjustments. I'm a pesky guy. I'm annoying in there to fight, but Danny stayed calm. He's got a lot of character. He didn't show any frustration, and he made the adjustments he needed to make. And I just want to give him props. And this is probably my last fight. I don't think I have it in me to get back to the training camp and make weight. Man, you know, I mean, I made weight great this fight. Props to him already. He had me on a great diet. You know, I've always eaten healthy in camp, but you know, there's certain foods in, even if they're healthy, they're not good for making weight at certain spots. And so Memo really taught me a lot. So props to him. But it's still a lot of work, man. you still gotta bite down and be disciplined and whatnot. You still gotta work hard in camp. You know, I don't think I want to start over. I'm gung ho. I gotta go 0 to 100. You know, I didn't come back on a tune-up. I had a tune-up scheduled in May. He's a decent fighter, Danny O'Connor, but I just wanted to jump right back in the big mix. Maybe in hindsight, maybe taking on a lesser fighter would have been good. Coming back, jumping right back in the mix with a Danny Garcia after 16 months. Maybe it wasn't so smart, but you know what? I don't even regret it, man. I fought a great fighter tonight. I was happy to share the ring with a great fighter. I've shared the ring with many great fighters in my career. I've come up short sometimes, but if you look at the combined records of the guys that have beaten me in my career, you know, I didn't take any shortcuts, that's for sure. You know, I did this the hard way. And, you know, maybe it accumulated more losses than certain other fighters, but the resume that I built up and the guys that I fought and didn't duck, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of guys that took this route. You know, sometimes it wasn't even my choice. I can't say it was always my choice to take on the toughest fights. Sometimes it was, like this time it was, but you know, sometimes I was in positions where I just had to take tough fights in tough spots. But you know, we made it happen in key points in my career. We just couldn't make it happen tonight. And you know, I thank you guys, you know, for covering my career. The last 14 years has been fun. It's been a fun ride. A lot of ups and downs, roller coaster. But if it has to end in Brooklyn, at least it ends at home. And not in Ukraine like so many of us thought 3 years ago. That would have been a messed up place to end it, you know? So it started in Brooklyn. If it ends in Brooklyn, I got no regrets. And I hope Team Garcia goes on to do great things. And I hope I